everyone, and welcome back to another collective moon update. We are having a new moon in the sign of Capricorn. I hope you've all been doing great, that you've been enjoying the holiday season. This is most likely going to be my last video of the year, so I'd like to wish you a happy new year ahead of time. I hope you're all doing good, feeling good. I know in these last 2 weeks of the year, I always feel kind of like disoriented and like tired. So make sure you're recharging, getting the rest you need to move forward, to continue on with life and all of that good stuff. I know great things await and it's only up from here. So as per usual, we gather here today to give Spirit the opportunity to connect with us, to give us messages, to guide us, to provide insight that we may need currently at this time to navigate our way forward through life. I'm super curious to see what Spirit is going to want to talk about today, what they're going to want to highlight, what could potentially be important for us to think about, to know. I love the Capricorn energy. It's such an interesting energy that can be about so many different things. It's very multidimensional. But the way that I've been thinking about it today is as being very enthralled in the material world. Capricorn is all about building, cultivating, slowly and steadily, watching something that you've been committed to, that you've been working diligently on, grow over time after much perseverance and effort. So of course, this can have negative qualities as well as positive qualities. So a positive way that this energy could present would be through status, career, what you're known for, what you've built up, what you've created here in the material world, what is tangible, what you do. So this could have to do with work, money, titles, jobs, positions, possessions, assets, things that you are contracted to. But on the negative side, it could manifest as addictions and overly focusing on the material world where there is an imbalance. So there could be a lot of, consumption and consumerism and materialism and just being fully enthralled and lost in that and only regarding those things as real and as the only things that exist, as the only things that matter, or placing like a heavy focus and priority on it, importance on it. This is what a lot of people refer to as Maya, which is the illusion that the materialism can give us, that this is the only thing that matters and that is real and that exists, and you get totally lost and consumed in this space, whether again it is through addictions, valuing materials, possessions, titles, or being beholden to something that is from this material plane, having an unhealthy attachment to it, something that is creating sticky negative karmic bonds. So like any other energy, this can be a blessing or it can be a curse depending on how the energy is utilized. Balance is always key. I think Capricorn is such a powerful energy and it has the potential to do so much. It's a very hardworking energy that can ground down and materialize that which is hard to ground down and materialize. But because it's so diligent and persistent and it perseveres, we're not called the goat for no reason. But because this energy carries that quality, it has the potential to do so much, to ground so much down, to integrate so much down into this 3D material realm. That's like the hardest thing to do, to make something real and to make something a reality, to cultivate something here in this material plane, to build it up, right? And this is what Capricorn talks about, is that action, doing just that. But, it can get a little fishy when we get too consumed, when we lose the bigger picture, when we lose, insight into why we're doing things, and we just get lost again in the illusion and the Maya of the material world. We get consumed by it, then, not so good. So let's see then what Spirit would like to communicate to us during this time, during this moon cycle. What is it that they think that we need to know? How is it that they would like to support us, uplift us, inspire us, guide us? Let's see, Spirit. What is the message for this new moon in Capricorn for everyone that is here watching today? Keep in mind that these messages are always going to be for the greatest good of us all, and they're always going to be in line with universal law and order and unconditional love and truth. We connect to high vibrational, higher streams of consciousness whose intentions are the same, and we're all just here working together, you know, as Ram Dass said, walking each other home. Okay, so let's see, what do we have here? Oh, how cool. Look, it says, embrace winter. Stop, embrace winter. Great cosmic womb. How appropriate. I'm catching a vibe here. I'm catching a little whiff. Okay, so Spirit, I feel like they're acknowledging that we may be finding ourselves in some kind of like uncomfortable position right now. Like it just seems that we aren't super comfortable and cozy where we are right now. And maybe a lot of us just kind of wish we could bypass something or just like hurry up, fast forward something, or I just want to get through this. I just want this to be over. You know, that kind of energy, that kind of vibe, where a lot of us could just be finding ourselves like, yeah, just over it, just sick of it, just tired of it all. Like we're seeing how fast everything goes. Yeah, like me personally, it's crazy. Like this year went by so fast. And I don't know about you guys. Let me know if you feel the same. But when I was younger, it felt like time took so long to pass. Like a year felt like so long. Like it felt like I had to wait so long for a birthday to pass, or for certain holidays to pass, for summer to come, you know? Or like when summer did come, it felt like such a long time of summer. Like everything just felt much slower, I think, time-wise. So I'm thinking like maybe time feels really fast because, you know, I'm an adult now. I have responsibilities. So life is just gonna move faster, or it's gonna feel that way anyway. So I asked my kids, you know, I asked them, how do they feel? Like, do they feel that time goes by at a normal pace, at a slow pace, or do they feel like it's going by super quickly? And they agreed that yes, they feel like it's going by super quickly. And I don't know, I just found that funny, you know, like when I was little, it felt like it went by so slow, but now it feels like it's going by so fast that even the kids feel that it's going by fast. And it's just like, whoa, you know, like we can hardly catch our breath, like we can hardly keep up. And this can be very overwhelming for a lot of people, like, holy crap, you know, like I blink and the year is gone. And, you know, the demands don't end. The responsibilities keep coming, you know, the bills keep coming. You have to continue to stay on top of it, to keep it together, continue rolling that ball up the hill, you know what I mean? And so I just feel like a lot of people could be feeling the weight of that, like just feeling like the cycle, but in a negative way, like, oh my God, this is never gonna end. Like, I'm never gonna catch a break. I have to keep pushing, keep striving, day in, day out. Am I ever gonna feel any kind of relief or release, I heard? So yeah, it's like that energy of just feeling sick and tired of it all, of the weight of everything, having to upkeep, you know, maintain, keep going, keep pushing. I feel like a lot of us are just longing for something else. I'm hearing that song by Stacie Orrico. It's super old, but she's like, there's gotta be more. Like, there's gotta be more to life. There's gotta be more than this. Like, I didn't come here to work, to pay bills and die. How can I get out of this cycle? Rat race, I'm hearing for some of you. How do I get off this wheel? How can I create something new, something different? Once and for all, you know? Go down a different direction, invite fresh energy in. Because frankly, we're exhausted, right? So yeah, that's like perfect for this Capricorn energy, because that's exactly what Capricorn is. It's like that 1 foot ahead of the other, that slow and steady wins the race energy that tells us that it's never going to change from one day to the next. You know, this cultivation, this new direction, this new energy you want to invite in, it's something that you work on diligently and slowly over time. And you kind of like put your nose to the grindstone and you do what you have to do day in and day out, and you stay diligent and responsible. And before you know it, one day you're going to look up and it's like you've cultivated this new pathway for yourself, or this new reality, this new situation, this new circumstance. But it's not going to come just like that, you know, from one day to the next, 1, 2, 3. It's not just going to fall on your lap. It is something that you have to grow. That is the way of like our world, of this 3D reality. That is how it works, you know. That is how we cultivate things, how we build things, how we create things, how we can make things a reality, bring things into fruition. That is the process. Those are the steps. So it's being able to ground down, like this card here says. It says learning how to be human in the world, but not of it. So it's like learning how to master this plane, this 3D reality, learning how to master Earth School. Well, I don't know if Earth School is something we can ever master fully and completely, but you know, like being here, being engaged, being present, standing with both of our feet planted firmly on the ground, doing what it is that we have to do, taking the actions we have to take, being engaged in our lives, being present and moving with intention, and building, you know, whatever it is that we need to build here, building it with intention, with awareness, knowing that we can do this, that we've done this before time and time again. This isn't something that's new to us. So it's like being able to tap into your own natural gifts, finding those parts within yourself, those parts that maybe went missing, that are offline, but it's finding them and it's turning them on, switching them on, you know, tapping into that muscle memory of things that we've cultivated from before, that our soul has done before. So it's like it's inside of us, but maybe it's dormant. So it's being able to wake it up, you know, allowing it to awaken, making room, making space for it to reawaken within us. And in order for us to do this, we have to be willing to step into the void. We have to be willing to stop, to embrace the unknown, to go within, to, you know, get in tune with ourselves, get in touch with ourselves, with our inner world, with our heart, with what's there inside of us. You know, create that space to go there, to go to the void, to know that you need this time in order to connect with, you know, these, your soul gifts. I feel like there's something that wants to be birthed, that wants to come up out through you. But the only way that that can happen is through love, acceptance, compassion, patience, forgiveness. You have to be able to tap into that energy so that you can do whatever it is that you need to do on yourself, like whatever work you're being called to do. Maybe this means for some of us, like, you know, we need to face like our inner demons, or like our inner battles, things that we're going through that keep us disconnected and that keep us attached to negative things, keep a negative cycle, a negative loop going that we're like feeling the heaviness of. And they're saying you're never gonna escape it, you know, like get off that wheel if you don't take this time to like quiet down, to create stillness, to go within, to see what's in there, you know, like what are you made of? What's in your psyche? What lens do you view the world from? What wounds do you carry? What trauma is there that needs to be addressed, that needs to be looked at, that needs to be nursed? And this is the perfect time of the year to reflect on these things, to do these things. That's like what winter is for, is that introspection time of the year, to go within, you know, where the nights are longer than the days, where maybe you're not super fertile and abundant and growing something and, you know, reaching those types of material successes and milestones and riches and all of that. But it's like you're doing the foundational work, like the inner work that's required first, like base level stuff. Like you're preparing the land, so to speak, before you can start planting your seeds. You have to prepare yourself, like prepare the canvas. I'm hearing, a clean slate, a refresh. There are some kinds of inner work that needs to be done here. And it's only through love, compassion, forgiveness, I think towards oneself. Like this seems very personal to each of us. So I feel like showing that love and compassion towards ourselves and taking this time and taking a look, like again, shining a light. What's in there? What do I need to become self-aware about? Where am I blocked? Where am I not allowing my gifts, my natural gifts to shine through, to come through? What needs my attention? What needs to be cleaned up? Like the gunk, you need to clean out the gunk. You need to unclog it. So yeah, they're just saying that this is the time to go within, to do that kind of work, to reflect, because I feel like we're blocked. We're blocked right now from like manifesting or from grounding something down, making something a reality, cultivating something, because we're disconnected, or there's something like, again, habits, addictions, traumas, wounds, mental things, that are holding us back. And we don't have to be like working on every single thing, This is the type of work that we do like always and forever. So it's just something in particular, like right now for each of us, that I think is going to be taking like precedence. Like there's something right now in particular, a very specific something that we have to work on in order to like reconnect ourselves in some way, like come online in some way, become sovereign in some area in some way, because we're longing for something. We're longing for something more. Like we're like, there's gotta be more to life. And yeah, like the way that we're going to see our way through this is by being very loving and compassionate and accepting and forgiving, towards ourselves, towards others, the situation, whatever it may be. We're going to go ahead and continue pulling. First of all, I haven't gotten the Oracle cards, so I'm going to get the Oracle cards and then I'm going to get more tarot cards, okay? But yeah, I think Spirit wants us to kind of like look at what conflicts do we have? What's inhibiting our soul growth right now? It's a very sensitive time. It really is. Like I feel like this is why this is coming out, because they're saying like it's a really good time. We should learn how to work with nature's cycles. You know what I mean? Because we're so connected, so closely connected and linked to nature, that what nature is doing, like we should also be following suit. Like right now it's winter. And so they're saying this is a really good time, like, to do this kind of work, because we're really sensitive, we're really open, we're really receptive right now to this, to the energy. And so maybe we can make a lot of headway if we focus on this, like going within, dealing with something, addressing something, kind of like seeing what our shortcomings are, what our blockages are, and embracing them instead of being triggered by them. And then, all of your defense mechanisms kick up, and then, you go for another round, for another go around. And Spirit is saying, no, let's get me out of this loop. That's a Ariana Grande song. She says, get me out of this loop. And there is a way to get out of the loop. And I think that's what they're trying to expose to us right now. So, okay. We got Lilith, face your shadow. Absolutely, this is shadow work. And like I was saying, like, shadow work never ends. I feel like we always have shadow work to do. But, little by little, you have to cross each bridge as you get to it. So I feel like even though we might have so much shadow material and shadow work to do, it's like there's something very particular here, very specific, that they want you to work on. It's not like you have to clear your entire shadow, you know what I mean? I don't know if that's even possible. But yeah, I can definitely see shadow work being brought up here. So that was good confirmation. Because you know what they say about shadow work. Like, the reason why you have to do shadow work is because if you don't shine a light on it, you're going to think that things are meant to be a certain way when they're not. It's like it's your shadow that's taken a hold, that's taken over. And it's running your life, you know what I mean? And until you face it and bring it to light and deal with it, handle it, it's going to continue to run your life. And then, like, you're not sovereign. It's your shadow and your coping mechanisms, because your shadow, it has certain triggers. So then something gets triggered, and then you have a coping mechanism, and then, you know, you keep yourself stuck in a loop. So you have to become aware of it so that you can catch it. You can catch this in the act, you know, and put a stop to it and develop a healthier way of coping. And something else about shadow is that we can't see our own shadows. So that's why Spirit is saying, like, right now is a really good time to do this work, because we're sensitive. Like, we can see it clearer, you know, like more readily than usual. It's called shadow for a reason, you know, it's because we can't see it. Maybe you can see other people's shadow, but it's often really difficult to see your own shadow. But I think right now it's a really good time to take a look, because I think, like, we're more sensitive and receptive to being able to see it. And again, being able to make a lot of headway right now at this time if we take this up. And again, with this Mother Mary card here, emotional healing, remember I was saying it has something to do with, like, forgiveness, acceptance, love, compassion. So maybe we are healing mother wounds, or we're trying to connect to our heart, trying to connect to our emotions, seeing that that's important. Again, remember when I was talking about the Capricorn energy in the beginning, that could be like the negative expression of this energy, is if we start only prioritizing materialism, and titles and success and possessions. Like, we get consumed, we get lost, excuse me, we get confused, we get lost in the muck and the mire, and we over prioritize those things over love and relationships, connecting to our heart, finding true bliss, true happiness, inner peace. You know, like, we don't see those things as valuable and as important as the material world. So it's like we build in this material world and we lose the bigger picture, because yes, it's very impressive to build in this material world, but it's like you have to have the wisdom, you know, and direction and intention and, like, gnosis, awareness, so that you don't get lost and build in a direction that's never going to fulfill you. You have to also know how to build from the inside, and, you know, like, how to build peace, love, loving connections, loving relationships, a peaceful surrounding and environment, happiness, bliss. These things are important too. So it's like coming to that understanding, coming to that realization, needing to come to some sort of a balance, because we're finding ourselves here, like, at a standstill, like we're stuck. I feel like there's a tantrum kind of energy. Like, Spirit is showing me like a kid having a tantrum. Like, we're stuck. We don't want to accept something. We want to stay stuck. We're holding on tight. This has to do with, like, presence, like not being present. It's like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this part. Like, I hate this part right here. You know, like, I don't want to do this. Like, no, can we fast forward? Can we fast forward through this? Or not wanting to face something. You're always wanting to, like, run away. And Spirit is saying, no, enough of running away from this. Face it. Because I feel like some of us can have that attitude of, like, no, I'm tired. Like, I'm exhausted. I don't feel like it. And Spirit is encouraging us to engage with this and to not look away from it and not, you know, not stay stuck. Let's not stay stuck here in these karmic patterns that have us stuck and tied. They want us to be able to restore the balance here. And it definitely has to do with connecting to love, heart energy, connecting to an energy that is going to be sustaining, you know, like, doing the inner work this is what's going to sustain you. This is what's going to carry you to the finish line. This is what's going to stand the test of time. You can work yourself to the bone, will yourself to some kind of position, some kind of high status. You can do all of that. But is it true success for you if you're like miserable inside? You know, if you just try to bypass this dimension, this realm, this side, you know, this side that exists. If you want to try to bypass it, you want to try to like regard it as not important. It doesn't really need your time, your energy, your attention. You have more serious things, more pressing matters. You have something in the material world to build up. You can't be wasting time on your inner world. You're gonna one day realize the folly in that and how much time, you know, maybe that you wasted building in a realm that's meant to pass away and die, instead of building in a realm that is going to stand the test of time and stay with your soul forever. This is work that stays with your soul forever. So which one takes precedence? The material world, building in the material world, or building your spirituality and your relationship to God and your relationship to self and connecting to your heart? Which one then takes precedence? It's becoming very clear about this. Changing your outlook, changing your perspective about this, connecting with love, with your heart, with understanding, compassion, truly caring about other people, just caring about people, caring about others, considering yourself. You know, it's like, if you don't consider others, what does that tell you about whether or not you're considering yourself? Are you being kind and loving and genuine even to yourself? Because I feel like we're not. And that's the issue. That's the problem. That's why so many people can't even, you know, find that type of genuine concern and care, because people can't even do that for themselves. So how are we going to be able to extend that beyond ourselves to others? You have to be able to love yourself enough to go there, to support yourself, to give yourself love, nurse yourself back to health, those unhealthy parts of you that need help, that need assistance. It's like they need the adult version of you to go back there and nurse or parent or whatever, support, guide, nourish that part of you that like didn't develop, was paused due to some kind of trauma. That's how we become stunted. And Spirit wants us to like overcome this. And it's like, we're not going to be able to overcome this if we don't do this first. It's like we have to prepare the lands. I keep hearing that. Like, we have to prepare the environment. It's like you're laying the groundwork, laying the foundation, going to the core, preparing the base, the strong base. You have to clean it out in order to build something solid here. And it's like, I'm seeing therapy. It's like they're saying, like, this isn't gonna just go away. Like, this isn't gonna happen unless you address this and like you receive therapy for it, whether it's like professional therapy, like from a therapist, or like you're the one providing the therapy for yourself. Like you're nursing yourself back in some way. So this is like understanding your own human condition, having compassion for yourself, accepting certain things, forgiving, loving yourself, supporting yourself, giving yourself this time for you to go internal, for you to do this work. So this could be journaling, meditation, chanting, yoga, nature walks, just something that creates stillness, that creates presence, awareness, puts a spotlight on something, and helps you to like undo something, helps you to purify something, to clean something out that is blocking you from connecting to a gift that you have that wants to be able to come through you. It's like a passion, but you're not going to connect to it without this love energy. Like, this energy is so important. It's so needed. This is what needs to be cultivated. This is like the first step, is doing some shadow work, because emotional healing needs to happen here. So again, maybe this has to do with like a mother wound or something. But yeah, it's kind of like going back and healing that part of ourselves. I want to pull a couple clarifiers here really quickly. Oh. Okay, so I wanted to clarify this card. Let me clarify that Seven of Swords as well. Spirit is also saying, like, don't worry right now about like cultivating material riches and like putting effort in that department, like to cultivate material things. Like, it's not about that right now. They're saying like it's okay to take a break from that being the focus right now, because right now is a really good time for you to focus on your internal world. And this is gonna like be really, really good for you. You know, it's actually going to be what helps you be more efficient in the long run to build something materially. It's like you first have to do this work, and if you can get through this, you're going to actually build more efficiently and effectively in the material world and like have more success. So at first it's kind of like if you're going the wrong direction, but it's actually going to connect you quicker and sooner by taking this road. Like, it's not obvious, it doesn't seem logical or obvious, but it's like it's the way, it's the quickest way or the most efficient way. So yeah, what I'm seeing here is that we want to cultivate something. We want to use our effort to build something tangible for ourselves, to provide for ourselves, to be successful with our finances, with our material possessions and riches, so on and so forth, the things that we have because of our own exertion and effort. But Spirit is saying right now, we should be focused more so on our inner world, on our heart, on our relationships, on how we relate, how we connect, how we love ourselves first and foremost, and others. I feel like Spirit is saying that we are very tender, we are very compassionate, very loving, vulnerable beings, you know, like that's our natural state, like that's our inner child. The natural thing is to be loving and compassionate and caring and pure, but somehow, somewhere, you know, that got lost. The ability to connect with people, to love, to genuinely care, to be supportive, genuinely and in a way that's pure, like it got lost. And they want us to find our way back to it. Find what's disconnecting us from that energy. They want us to find answers, to bridge the gap. They want us to work on this, to work on love, to work on emotional healing, because something wants to come through, but we need to do this first. There's like something that wants to come through you, and it's something that your soul has done before. It's just being like obscured, it's being blocked, and we have to clean it up. We have to unblock it and clean it up. And this energy here of like longing for something else, or thinking the grass is greener somewhere else, or thinking like, oh, well, if I just, you know, do this, then I don't have to worry about this. I don't know, like there's something that we run away to, that we escape. We use it to escape what it is that we should be facing, the work we should be doing. And Spirit is trying to say like, you need to stop running away from it, stop trying to escape, stop, like anytime you get uncomfortable, you know, you try to like do something else that's going to get your mind off of it. This is what's keeping you stuck, is not wanting to deal with it, not wanting to face it, wanting to run away, wanting to look the other way. Anytime you get uncomfortable, you want to like distract yourself. This is influencing your material world, which is funny because it's like, we want to build our material world. We want to be successful here. We want to make headway in this area. But you not facing this, what you deem as unimportant, because it's like, it seems like counterintuitive, like, oh no, like I need to focus on my material world. I can't be focusing on that. So then you like keep putting it off, but it's actually that, like facing it, that is what's going to help you build in the material world. That's the kicker, you know, like that's what Spirit is saying. Like you can't escape this. You can't try to bypass this. You have to do this. You have to do this work. You have to face it. You have to see what barriers have you built inside of yourself that go against love, unconditional love. to yourself, to others. They want you to do this, to work on your heart, your heart energy. Because if not, like everything that you're building, everything that you're creating, it's coming from a place like it's clouded. There are blockages. You're not seeing clearly. And so like you're building up with this being the foundation. And so like it's not solid. It's not like a solid foundation. It's faulty. And then eventually it's gonna blow up. Something is gonna blow up in your face if you don't deal with it now, If you don't deal with it now, it's like you're gonna build in the wrong direction, or you're gonna attach yourself to like the wrong people, the wrong circumstances, the wrong situations, because it's like you were prioritizing something that you shouldn't have been prioritizing, and it's because this part of yourself was off. This part of yourself was off. It needs to be on. You need to turn it on first, so that you can have more clear direction here. And it's your heart. It's your heart, like, come on. That's like where we should be. That's what we should be following. Not our brain, not our logic, our heart. You need to make sure that you are coming from a place that is considering others, that cares about people, cares about impact, regards other people's emotions, feelings, needs. Spirit is asking you to get responsible, to get in the driver's seat, to not disregard other people and like not step on other people's toes, or not care what impact you have on others. Or again, like on yourself too, because you could be doing this to yourself. Shutting down your emotions, not regarding them as important, not giving yourself the time you need to process things, to heal, nurture yourself, support yourself, hold yourself. It's like not seeing the importance in that. So if you can't do it for yourself, then of course you can't do it for other people. This is about like working together, being cooperative, being giving, like equal give and take, an equal give and take. Not just attaching to things because like, oh, well, what material thing am I going to get from attaching to this? But instead finding real, natural, genuine connections that are like, it's like, it's meant to be. You guys are on the same wavelength, on the same frequency. You naturally align. You naturally work good together. You're not attaching because of unhealthy reasons, karmic reasons. But instead you're attaching because you're in the flow. You're in the divine flow. And this is like what's natural. This is what God wants, what Spirit wants. It's a natural connection. They want you to be able to align to what's natural versus like manufacturing something and attaching yourself and aligning yourself to something that's not meant for you and that's not natural. And so therefore it's karmic in a negative way, where it's like it's sticky, it's gunky, like, it's not influencing you or them in any kind of healthy way or way that is pure. It's like you guys are not even meant to be connected or attached. The only thing that's connecting you and attaching you is something that's unhealthy, something that's misaligned. So therefore it keeps you stuck, it keeps you looping. So yeah, Spirit just wants you to break free out of this, break out of this. They want you to be able to piece this together, to like solve the puzzle, And they're saying that right now is a really good time to do it. And through this work, you're gonna find your passion. Because I feel like right now you guys might be really, really like disconnected from it. And that's why you feel sad and unfulfilled. But this is like Spirit, calling you back home to yourself, to become aware of yourself and what's inside of you, what exists inside of you, what is in your shadow material, and being able to work through that and make some progress, because this work is what's going to influence and like balance your material world, especially for those of you that are feeling like stuck and stagnant and like you can't grow in your material world. This is why. And even if you're able to grow in your material world, it's like you're not finding fulfillment. It's through attaching to things that aren't like meant for you, and so it doesn't bring fulfillment because it's not meant for you. And in order for you to attach to what is meant for you, your heart space has to be in it. Like your heart has to be in it. It has to be turned on. It has to be open. And so that's why this work is important, guys. This is how we find a good balance. And then you will be so happy and so proud of what you've cultivated, what you've built up, what you have to offer, and you are going to be able to build something that is solid and stable and that is very abundant. Okay, you guys, so that was our message for this new moon in Capricorn. I hope you got something that you needed out of this, that this was helpful, insightful, useful, that you will benefit from this in some way. Thank you so much for being here with me today, for sharing your time and energy. If you'd like a personal reading, I will leave my email in the description box below so that you can contact me if you're interested. Take good care of yourselves. Again, Happy New Year. I'll see you in 2025. So much love, and until next time, bye.